Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 3, and today we're taking a look at the 1983 Volvo 242 Turbo Evolution. Now 500 of these were built to satisfy production requirements to qualify for Group A sedan class racing in Europe. All of them were sold in the US, with only 30 being returned to Europe for those racing events. And yeah, I really like this car. Unfortunately we can't look at the engine or even in the boot for some reason, even though the BMW 507, which is another returnee like this one, you could look at everything. So yeah, bit of a shame that we can't look at it in more detail, but we can still look at it in the interior, which is typically 80s, quite frankly. And you can tell it's from the US because it's got those 85 mph limit speedos that they were having around at the time. But I like all the dials on it. For instance, I like the turbo gauge, I like the bar pressure, volts, and then you got all the usual fuel and temperature gauge. And yeah, it's not all that exciting in here, but there's plenty in there that you'd expect from an early 80s car. Engine wise, it's got a 2.1 litre inline 4 turbo engine, which produces 225 horsepower and 250 pounds-feet of torque, which is got to that kind of power thanks to a larger radiator, an intercooler, and as well as water injection. And yeah, that's a hell of a lot of power for 1983, never mind the fact that it's in a Volvo. So yeah, fairly impressive. Plus it has this spoiler on the rear end, which wasn't on the normal cars. And yeah, as a result, it's a cracking car in terms of acceleration, speed, and handling. So to see that, we're going to take it out there and see what it can do. So see you when we get there. Alright, let's see what this Volvo can do. So yeah, this car packs a mighty punch. And quite frankly, there weren't that many cars around that were more powerful than this, while also being practical and yeah, generally robust. So yeah, you'd struggle to find a muscle car from America, for instance, to go quicker than this. Quite frankly, the only car I can think of from America in the 80s that would be quicker than this, outside of a Corvette, is that Buick GNX, which quite frankly didn't have all that much more power than this. Quite frankly, 75 I think it was. So yeah, this car in general handles really rather well for a car from the 80s, and has plenty of power and plenty of acceleration and top speed. 0 to 60 is dealt with in 6.1 seconds, 0 to 100 is dealt with in 16.217 seconds, and it goes on to a top speed of 141 miles an hour, which really isn't too shabby, not even in terms of today's standards, quite frankly. So yeah, and unfortunately you'd have to wait until the late 90s and 2000s to find a Volvo that could go quicker than this. So yeah, it's a great car, quite frankly, and a European oddity, I guess you could say, even though, like I said, they didn't sell any of them in Europe, only in America, which is a shame, because yeah, it's a cracking car. It handles really well, like I said, thanks to the fact it has rear wheel drive and that spoiler pressing down on those rear wheels. It even makes a decent noise. And the car this puts me in mind of around those times is the Saab 99 Turbo, which is a car that I would love to make a return, because that was also in Forza Motorsport 4, and just like this car. And yeah, I'd love it to be in this game so it could compete against this, but unfortunately since Saab went down, you're never going to really, the likelihood of seeing a Saab in a game again is highly unlikely, because yeah, they have ceased production for a while now, and it's unlikely to return, which is a shame, because it would be a great car to go against this. We don't have enough you know, Swedish cars on this game per se as it is, so it would be good to have Saab to go up against Volvo. And I would like more Volvos on this game, quite frankly. I know we've got the P1800 to go along with this, but they're the only two pre-9, well, along with the Volvo 123 GT, I think it is. But yeah, we've only got 3 cars pre-90s from Volvo, and only 4 from pre-2000s, so would be nice to have more. And again, lots of people would complain, just like they have done with this car pack that this car features it in already. So yeah, I guess you can't keep everyone happy, but I do like this car, and I'm really glad it's made a return to the Forza series, like the BMW 507. And yeah, it's a cracking car to try out. Just a shame that we can't look at the car in full detail, because we couldn't even look at it in full detail in Forza Motorsport 4 either. So yeah, that is a shame, but Still glad it's in the game nonetheless. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.